Happy Monday. It's Monday. When I'm gonna get to upload this, I have no idea, but it's Monday. It is 4:06 and I'm driving home. I was born and raised in Watts, California, and if you guys don't know where Watts is, Google it. But I am the youngest of 3. I have a brother and a sister, and we didn't have a lot growing up. And when I say we didn't have a lot, I mean we did not have a lot. We lived in the same room, actually, all 3 of us, until I was 16 or 17. I mean, my parents did buy a house. It didn't last long because of some of my dad's personal demons and issues. We did lose our home. There was times where we didn't have enough for the rent, and I knew it. I would see how stressed out my mom was and stuff. And my dad was an alcoholic. Thankfully, he hasn't drank in a long time, and he kind of just did that on his own. He didn't go through like a step program or anything like that. I mean, he's old school Mexican. Like, they don't do those things. What else? I mean, it was a hard upbringing, but I still appreciate every lesson that I learned. I don't feel like I had a bad childhood. I feel like my parents did the best that they could, and I'm always gonna be grateful for that. I've learned a lot, and I am who I am because of them. So let me not get emotional, but to the point where we lasted a few times without water and without electricity. It was that bad, but there's a lot of good times that I remember as well. My dad and my mom always made it a point to make sure that birthdays were celebrated. No matter how small the celebration was, we always celebrated every holiday. Christmas, Halloween, the 4th of July was always we always decorated the house, even if we had to just go from the 99-cent store and get decorations there. Or I used to make my own. We always celebrated those things, and we always made sure that we celebrated birthdays, and we had moments, we had our own traditions, and I'm happy with my upbringing. Could it have been better? Yeah, but you know what? You're dealt the hand that you are, and you kind of just go with it. Everybody chooses the route that they want to take, and I chose very early on that I wanted to make my mom's sacrifice not be in vain, because I saw how she struggled and how my dad struggled, and I wanted their sacrifice to be worth it. Life always happens, and I had to support myself, and I had to get a full-time job. And then after I moved out at a young age, I think I was 18 or 19, I moved out of my house with a boyfriend at the time, but then on my own with roommates. But yeah, I had to figure out how to fend for myself. My parents, it's not that I wanted to leave my parents, it's just I wanted to be independent. I've always been independent. So I did all that. I sacrificed a lot. I mean, I lived off of $200 a week sometimes, or $100 a week sometimes. My rent, I used to live in my friend's living room. So if you guys go back in my videos, you'll see where we were taping, that was my room. So I mean, I've come a long way since then, and I try to remind myself every day that I have such a good life. I have such a good life. I have such a good man. I found a really good person that understands me and accepts me for everything that I am. I have been huge. I have been freaking 280 pounds, and now I'm 170, around there. He loved me, and he met me when I was bigger, and I worried that he might treat me different after I lost weight, but there is no difference. He has not treated me one bit better or worse. He's always loved me no matter what. And he's seen the ugly sides of me, and I don't mean physically, but I have a temper in a way. I'm kind of ghetto. I mean, yeah, it comes out sometimes when I'm pissed off, and sometimes when I'm drunk. And he's seen the crazy side of me. He's seen the very good side of me. He's seen the compassionate side of me, and every time he's always been very supportive and understanding, even when I've been hurtful towards him. For whatever reason, we got in a fight or whatever, and I tend to act stupid when I'm drunk if I'm upset. So he's seen a lot and accepted a lot of me, and I've seen a lot of him and accepted a lot of him, and we've come a very long way. And the reasons why I'm reflecting and I'm talking about this is because I appreciate everything that I have, because I came from nothing, and I don't want to forget my struggle. I never want to forget it, ever, because I feel like it makes the achievements that I have so far that much better. It makes it so rewarding, and I don't want to become jaded, and I don't want to take things for granted. So this came up because I was gonna buy a new car. I was gonna buy a new car because I feel like I needed like an SUV type, like a crossover, to have more room for Artemis and stuff. And as we were shopping and stuff, and we were talking about selling my car, and this is like my third car in the past 4 years, because I keep, like, the last one I had before this one, Ron didn't really like it that much, so I didn't trade it in, I sold it and I bought this one. And before I had Artemis, my whole goal was to not make payments anymore and to just pay this off, and be completely debt free, because I have no school loans, I have no credit card debt, I have nothing. I worked really hard to get my credit score the way it is now, and I want to make sure that, like, we don't have any debt, and that everything that we're doing is going towards savings for the future. And anyways, so as I was shopping around for a car, I felt super excited because I was going to buy a new car. And are you letting me go? Thank you. And then I started to think, a lot of people don't have that choice. A lot of people don't have the choice to be like, hey, I'm going to buy a car like this weekend. Shit, I'm going to drop $5,000 right now on a car. Like, a lot of people don't have the ability to do that. And then I started thinking, like, when did I lose, like, my eyes used to be on always thinking, what are my wants and what are my needs? And I started thinking about that, and I started asking myself, do you really need this car, Olivia? Yes, it's exciting to get a new car, and it's great, but do you really need it? And I don't. I know that it's a little bit tight right now in this space with this car because of the Artemis and the car seat and like the stroller and all that, but it's not that tight where I can't make it work. And I feel like I don't want to be spoiled. I don't want to, like I said, take things for granted, and I think I'm taking this car for granted because this is a perfectly good car. It's a 2012 Kia Optima. It has a decent amount of miles. I still have plenty of warranty on it, and I only have I checked this morning, I only have $7,000 left to pay on the car, and I got this the year it came out. So there's nothing wrong with the car. I don't need the car. You asshole. I don't need the car. I mean, I don't need the new car. So I decided to pass on the car and stick to this car because there's nothing wrong with it. I love this car. It looks nice. It drives great. It has the minimum of what you would need as far as Bluetooth and hands-free talking, and that's it. I don't need a lot. So I just wanted to talk about it because it's so easy for people to forget where they came from and where their struggle has been, and I just don't want to forget, because now that I have a son, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to teach him the value of things. And it's hard for me because I don't want to be too hard on him, but I don't want to be like too lenient either, as in give him everything, because he's my firstborn and I love him, and I know that you want to shower your baby with gifts and give him everything he ever wanted, and I don't want to do that. I want him to appreciate everything, that he has and will have, and to understand that you have to work very hard for the things that you want. So it's just me reflecting and me snapping my fingers at myself and saying, wake the fuck up, Olivia. You have a perfectly good car. You have all these things that a lot of people don't have, that a lot of people would love to have. You know, like, I remember what it was like to save money and to pick between having a meal or putting gas in my car. Like, I remember those days, and thankfully my life is a lot better now. I'm in my 30s. Like, I asked me in my 20s if I thought that I was going to be here in my 30s, and I would have been like, no. I'm just so grateful and thankful, and I really need to start appreciating, to continue appreciating what I have, and stop really, and I don't do it that often, but stop doing like the things that, like, oh, I want, instead of thinking, do I need this, do I need that? Yeah, just a reminder for myself, I guess. Anyways, ladies and gents, I just wanted to share that. I hope I don't come off as sounding kind of conceited or like if I'm gloating or anything like that. I'm really reflecting, and I'm thankful for everything that I have, and I just really hope that I don't take it for granted, and that I don't forget where I came from and where I want to be. Keep things in perspective is what I'm trying to do. Keep things in perspective. Anyways, I will see you guys probably sooner than later, because I'm having a little bit more time. I have a space now to edit my videos, even though I don't do hardcore editing, but I mean, you know. See you guys next week.